Well, hello there. It feels like it's been a long time since I've done a paper pumpkin class, but I'm here 2 weeks late, but that's okay. It was New Year's, I had family in town, so I decided to hang out with them, eat food, play games, and all that good stuff. I'm just waiting for a couple to pop on, and then we will officially begin. Speaking of New Year, what did you guys do? As you can see right here, I'm still taking things down from New Year's. I just kind of liked the cedar garland and didn't want to take it down just yet. Okay, so we have some people watching. Hello, let me know who's watching. Say hello, where you're from, all that good stuff. Tell me if you're a Paper Pumpkin fan, a subscriber, or what you like to do. So now that we have some people watching, I can see right there. Hello, Kayleen. I'm going to begin with good Thursday morning and welcome to Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin. Today's class is all about the Watercolor in Bloom Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I'm pairing it with several current or last chance items offered by Stampin Up. Rose Carey is here. Hello. Rose says, good morning, Elizabeth. So good to see you. I stayed home and stamped. Yay. Me too. All right. So I'm going to begin with just a little bit of business. I'm going to flip the camera around, but it was good to see you. Say hello. And now we're going to get on with the business and stamp. Okay. So here comes the hand. Let me just do a quick reverse here on the camera. There's my light. Okay. All righty. So let me scooch this down just a little bit more, if I can. Hold on. Sorry, folks. If you're getting seasick, just look away. I'll tell you when you can look. Don't look yet. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get things so it's not cattywampus. All right, let's see here. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Okay. All right. So business next week on the 21st, that's the last day you can register for my Technique Time class. That's my biggest class of the month. It's going to be all about Valentine's. In fact, let me share a couple with you that I've done here. These aren't the ones that we're going to be doing in class, but I just think they're pretty. You can see the product in use here. So this is a cute, fun Valentine with an unfinished inside. I guess I'll have to work on that. But that's made with the Made with Love Sweet Collection. Here's another one. This you're getting a look at my project from Global Ink Collective. All right. But this is a fun one. It's kind of an accordion fold. It's just kind of cute and fun, and it shows off your DSP. So if you're interested in making some sweet, fun, spunky, funky Valentines, this is the class for you. Kits, you'll need to register by the 21st, but you can register for the PDF at any time. Even a year from now, you could register for it. So that's what's coming up. Let's see. I'm not going to turn the page just yet. Now, I couldn't find my printer dongle, so I'm just going to show you my screen. All right. Just a couple days after my Valentine class, I'm pairing up with Kim McGillis, and the two of us together are doing an encore class. This is a $15 full access class. We have already started a very fun Facebook group. This will be a live class via Zoom where we'll be able to interact with one another. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Yes, Rose Carey, she signed up for Technique Time. Cool. She's going to make some Valentines with me. Now, what are we doing in this encore class? We are extending the virtual card retreat kit. So if you've made that investment, you can stretch those products. We've got some beautiful things that we have planned. The class will include, step-by-step instruction. We'll all make it together in real time. And there will be a, PDF with measurements, video links, photos, templates, all for $15 American, $20 Canadian. So we hope you'll join us. That will be a lot of fun. All right. I'm going to keep my computer nearby because I have another one that I couldn't print. But anyways, in just a little bit, in a couple weeks, we will be back on February 5th to upstyle our special delivery paper pumpkin kit. That is going to be a lot of fun. And then, let's see, I have one more. Let me bring this back in. We'll get rid of this. All right, technique time. Let me give you just a heads up what's coming in March. I'm sorry, not March. I'm way too ahead of myself. In February, we're going to take a look at the Lovely Blossoms Sweet Collection. And this is going to be fun. You guys, there is a die in there, that circle die that you've been seeing a lot. People are using. It's like a bunch of circles in a row. So cool. I can't wait to get my hands on this product and start working. Hello, Jan. Hello, Terry. Good to have you here. So this is going to be fun. So it's on, the stamp set is on back order. The rest of the suite is available right now, but this is going to be fun. So if you're interested in this suite collection, as soon as it comes off the back order, grab that so you can join me in February. It's going to be a good time for sure. All right. And then we're now down to today. What are we doing today? Today, we are looking at the Watercolor in Bloom paper pumpkin kit. So it's time to stamp. So let us begin. And we're going to be mixing in a few things today. One of the things, I think I might have called this Joy in Bloom, but the name of this little set of dies that has gone with the October, November, December paper pumpkin kits is called Abundant Joy. And, you know, you've seen me use these all over throughout the Christmas and, you know, the holiday season. So today I'm not going to use the tag nor the Joy, but I have got these dies out and I'm going to use those quite a bit. And so I'm going to use those in my first project here that we're going to make. I'm going to be using well, maybe not the flower, but I am going to use the leaf, the bigger leaf, the more dainty leaf, and this little berry spray. So I'm just going to keep these up here because we're going to see those quite a bit in the next little bit here. Okay. All right. So here is what I have all my pieces. We're going to start with this piece from the paper pumpkin kit. And the first thing I want to do is I am going to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom to make this 4 1/4 inches tall. Oh, look at my cutter needs a little bit of cleaning. So I'm just going to kind of look at this and go, okay, how much? I think I need to take about 1/8 of an inch off of each end because it is 4 1/2. So let's make it 4 1/4. So I'm going to take 1/8 inch off the bottom. Hello, Cheryl. Thank you for popping on. So Kayleen says she loves that lovely arrangements bundle. That's the bundle that's part of that lovely Blossoms Sweet Collection. Yeah, it is super cool. I like it because I liked all the fanciness of Brushed with Beauty. This one, this floral is a little bit more, it's not quite as elaborate. And so it's a little bit more contemporary in feel. So it's going to be it's going to be really fun. Okay, so that's the first thing we've done on this card. And the next thing we're going to do is I've got some die cuts here, but I'm going to use this as my card base for my first card. And this is going to be a landscape card that I'm going to make. So I'm just folding the card base in half. I'm going to give it a good burnish with my bone folder. I have another piece from the kit, and this is one of the labels that's going to set inside just like so. And you know what, you guys, I am going to do something that I don't normally do, and that is to make this just kind of very symmetrical. Okay, I have used this die here, and I have cut 3 Misty Moonlight leaves with this. So I have 3 Misty Moonlight leaves for that side. And I die cut 3 garden green cardstock leaves from the same die, and they will be for this side. And let's see, from the kit here, I feel like I have some pieces missing. Maybe I don't, maybe I do. I do, I have a couple pieces missing. I wonder if I'll find them later on. Because I have a little, I have this little tidy tray here that I have all my pieces ready. Oops, there's one of them right there. I need a second one of those. I've cut the little berry. I have one, I guess I'll use one in green. We'll do one in green and one in blue. That's okay. It'll totally work with this card layout here. And then I have 2 of the flowers from the paper pumpkin kit themselves. So let me just kind of show you what I did here. So I have a garden green, this little berry die from the Abundant Joys, and one in Misty Moonlight. In fact, I think that is probably what I plan to do, because you can kind of see I've got a blue side running over here and a green side over here. That's kind of my plan for this card. Let me see. We've really got some keystone effect going on here. I'm going to try and correct it. So close your eyes for a second. I'm just going to see if I can't get this to fix a little bit. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, so I am going to start with stamping, and I love this greeting. First, I have to tell you guys, I've misplaced the best stamp in this whole little set, the Dear Friend. I have torn apart my stamp room, but I'm just crushed because I love that little stamp and I've lost it. Oh, where could it be? Bummer. All right, so I'm using the ink spot from the kit, and this is the greeting that says, "You make me feel loved." Okay, just patting it back and forth, and I'm going to stamp that, not totally in the center, but close to it. I'm going to come down just a skosh. Okay, so here's my greeting. Yay, beautiful. And let's just start by getting these things laid out a little bit. I'm going to use up some, look at this, I'm using up some old dimensionals here, but I am going to put my layer here on with dimensionals. And I'm just using up these bits and pieces here. I have this basket in my stamp room. Well, for those of you who don't know, I don't stamp these lives in my stamp room because my internet is terrible back in that part of the house. So I have to come out here to the kitchen counter and stamp here. But in my stamp room, I have a basket of tons of these just leftover sheets. And so I'm trying to use them all up. And when I get one used up, I'm like, yeah, I conquered that page. It's done. Okay, so now let me just kind of slide these to the side. Look how pretty this, we're covering up my favorite color right in through here, the pretty peacock, but that's okay. Okay, does it matter which way this goes? No, because they're the same, they're symmetrical. So I'm gonna put this just kind of eyeballing center. And so you might have heard me just say they're symmetrical. And so I'm just gonna kind of take a cue off of the symmetry for this first card here. I'm adding some dimensionals to the little label here that we stamped. And so this label from the kit it's a nice size, but what's nice are the lovely copper foil lines on there. Okay, and so this is gonna go right through the center. Surprise! Okay, now here's what we're gonna do just to kind of mix things up just a little bit. Now, I could have like maybe taken a blending brush and kind of zhuzhed these up a little bit. Because this is our first card, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of keep it simple and easy for right now. But I'm going to add dimensional. I haven't pulled the back off just yet. But I'm going to be tucking these in. We'll tuck one about here like so. And we'll do another one. I can see I need to get that further down. So I'm just going to do some leaves, kind of crisscrossing up here on the top side. So this is where our symmetry, we're going to be symmetrical from side to side, but not from top to bottom. So it'll be a little bit different. No, I did not. I cut down this card base, Kayleen. So this one was a little longer. I cut it down to 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 leaves there, and then we'll do the same thing with the green on the other side. Only this time, these are going to be a little lower. Okay. So this is just going to be a sweet, easy little card. Just like this. Okay, so we've just got these fun leaves. So just kind of some asymmetry there. Then these flowers, rather, I am going to add a dimensional. I'm going to tuck it partially under this label. Lift that up. And I'm going to do the bigger one up here. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing down here. I'm going to add that dimensional. I'm just going to lift a little bit so it's just tucked under a little. And we'll add the smaller flower here. Okay. And now the green, well, this is the blue. These blue little berries are going to go. I'm going to tuck these right in here on the blue side. Cute. And we'll put the green on the green side. So the nice thing about a card like this is once you've designed one side, you're like, now all I have to do is repeat it. Easy, easy, easy. So I need to pull these dimensional covers now that I know where I want to put them. Rose said, your first card is so sweet. I try to start the first card out pretty simple, straightforward, and, really focus on the products in the Paper Pumpkin kit and the coordinating dies. And in this case, just 2 shades of coordinating cardstock colors. So colors from the kit. I haven't really deviated for this particular Paper Pumpkin class from the colors that are in the kit. Okay, there's that so far. And then let's put these guys on for real. Yeah, it's a fun little card. We're going to add, as soon as I get these on, we will add, for sure, I'll add some of the gems from the kit. And you can't go wrong with a little wink of Stella. Just a little splatter here and there. Okay, so there are my leaves. And I feel like this poor flower is sagging out. It's kind of getting lost. All right, so let's add some gems to this card. And these are the gems from the kit. And I think I'm just going to we'll add just a couple right down in here, not on the flowers since they have these pretty little blue. Okay, and then we'll take another large, and well, I'm going to take another small. We'll take another small. Whoops, come here. We've got a jumper, and I'm going to add it. I think I'm going to change where I have those, but I'm going to add this one right in here. And this one here, I'm going to move this, I'm going to trade it to the other side here so that these are working more in a, well, that one's going to stay there because that's where the little mini dot underneath is stuck to the paper. And there you have it, folks. Let's give it just a little bit of stellization. We'll just kind of hit those centers of the flowers there and then just give this a little Stella sparkle. And, ooh, this is my, this one has gold in it. And that's the only one I have out here with me. So we're adding gold today. A little bit of a gold hint to our wink of Stella. But there you have it. Simple, easy, cute, and just fun. I just love it. I love the simplicity of it. It almost looks like a flag in a way. All right, there's one and done, folks. I am going to, now that you've seen these dies, I have things already die cut today, but I'm going to put these away so I don't lose them. But I'll let you know when I'm using them all the time. So my next card here is we're going to do, let's see here. Let's see what we're doing. We're going to use this card base. And wow, this is kind of a very dramatic, moody color base here. This deep, what is this? Shaded spruce, little mix of Night of Navy. It's just really cool. So I'm also bringing in a couple other things. I am going to, for this particular card, this set of dies, Kayleen, you figured that I just turned the card base. Yeah, that is, I said it's a landscape card. Yep, I turned it. Okay, these are the Impressions Abloom Dies. I know they were on the last chance list. I don't know if they're still available, but these were part of the online exclusives, I think last May. But I just love this large modern oval, and wouldn't you know that it's pretty much the same. It's the same oval as the oval in our kit. These are a little larger, but it's that same kind of very wide oval. So a modern oval is what they used to call the punch. But anyhow, so I'm using this. I'm also going to use these dies for this particular card. And what I've done is I have used, let's see, which die did I use? Let me pull this whole thing out. I store mine on little, sheets of magnetic sheets. But what I did is this piece here that had the rounded corners, we trimmed this one. Well, this one, instead of trimming it, I die cut it with this die right here. So there are two dies that are very similar in this particular set of dies. One is plain and one has a stitching line around it, and it cuts the outside and it cuts the inside. So I am using, I think I have that one there. I'm using the plain one, and that's what I used to die cut this piece right here. And look how perfectly this layers on with the label, the vellum label, or layer rather, from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So I've used that there, okay? I'm also going to use a couple of the leaves in this particular set of dies. I'm using these two right here, okay? Because they kind of feel like these right in here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find things in my stash that are going to work with my Paper Pumpkin kit. So what's in your stash that looks really good? All right, I've also used this die right here. And this die cuts flowers. Rose Carey says, the Impressions Abloom stamp is on the last chance list, but the dies are gone. Oh, bummer. Yeah, these are great, great dies, you guys. Okay, so I'm using that one. And I'm also using another card here. And so you're going to kind of get an eyeful here. So this was one of the card bases from the kit. But you can see, and I haven't thrown it away because I still have some more room right in through here to do a little bit more die cutting. You can see I've been die cutting things for this class and for some other projects that I've been working on. So I have die cut some leaves. Okay. There's my leaves from this paper. I also die cut the flowers. So this is two flowers on one die. So I did that and the leaves, as you can see. So those are there. Okay. Then from, whoops, it looks like I just found another leaf. Okay, I should have 4 leaves, 2 flowers, and then I have just 2 garden green flowers from the Abundant Joy. So this is from the Paper Pumpkin set itself, and these are garden green. So these are the pieces I'm going to use on this card. This is going to be a similar card to the first one, but look entirely different because I'm changing the orientation to portrait. And I am also using the oval shape rather than the rectangle shape. Here I say rectangle shape, and then I'm going to bring in 2 rectangles. So this is a piece of Peaceful Gardens Glimmer paper. And this is the cloud cover color. So that pack of paper has cloud cover, 2 cloud cover, 2 secret sea, and 2, I think, Azure Afternoon pieces of glimmer paper. And so again, looking through what's in my stash, this fit this paper pumpkin kit. Okay, and then this is one of the rectangle labels from the paper pumpkin kit itself. And right off the bat, I'm gonna stamp this, and I'm gonna stamp it with the Night of Navy spot, only this time I'm gonna use the thank you image. Really wish I had the dear friend. If I have a friend out there that ordered more than one paper pumpkin kit and wants to send me the dear friend stamp, I would love it. Okay, so I've inked up the thank you, and I'm gonna stamp this a little bit off to the right and down just a little bit. I just don't want it to be dead center. Hi, Pamela. How are things going? Oh, I think I really wanted that to be a little bit lower. Shoot, Queen, good thing there's another side. I mean, it's stamped great, but I want to go just a little bit lower. And so I think what I will do is actually set this on so I can see a little bit more contrast, so I can see just a little bit more of what I'm doing. Yes, this is where I want it down here, just a little bit more. Okay, don't you love that cardstock is two-sided? We have 2 chances to get it right. Okay, you know what? Even that's a pretty card. Just put a tie there, done. Okay, but you know me, we're gonna step it way up and go overboard here. And so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna glue this to my glimmer. And you know, sometimes it's hard to get glimmer to, things to stick to the glimmer. Oh, thank you for your comment. Sweet friend for sure, Pamela. From Texas. All right. She is my Global Ink Collective and my Paper Pumpkin Creatives friend. And she is on this year's Artisan Design Team. So fun to have her here. Okay. All right. So I'm just layering that up. And I used my seal, like I say, because sometimes it's hard to get things to stick to the front of glimmer paper, you know, where you've got all that glittery stuff. Okay, so let's add some dimensionals to the back of this. And you know what? I'm going to cut this and I'm going to use these sides here. Okay. I know some people don't use the sides. I do. Because there's a lot of dimensionals there. Perfectly good. Okay, there. 2 and 3. Okay. So now I shouldn't have put this away too soon. I'm going to add my layer to my vellum piece from the kit. Okay. I'm going to add that with seal, and not because it's hard to stick to, but because I don't like using glue. You have to use it very sparingly when you're on vellum because you don't want that vellum to curl. Okay, so I'm just going to layer that on. So again, if you've just popped on, I used this die from Impressions Abloom to cut that piece from the paper pumpkin kit. Now I can turn this over and add my dimensionals to the back here, and I will put them far enough in that they don't show. Look at this, we're using up this sheet so that they don't show underneath the vellum. So we all know that. Hydromechanics, we definitely don't want to see anything through the vellum. Okay, and so this is going to layer on just in the center. So you can really see how the first card and this card are very similar in approach here. All right, I am going to grab a little linen thread. Okay, I think the second most used item besides Wink of Stella for me, linen thread. Here's some linen thread. Whoops, I just dropped a bunch of gems on the floor. And I'm just gonna take and tie a bow. And I think you know me by now, and I don't like little bows. If you're gonna put it on, make it show and stand out. Okay, so I'm doing a larger bow, you can see. I just like a little more drama. And we'll trim that. And this is going to set right about here. And by the time we get our layer on top will kind of control some of these crazy tails. But this will just go over top like so, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set that down now, just to kind of get things out of the way. And I'm actually gonna make my loops just a little bit bigger. Jen, I sing it in my mind all the time. I like big bows and I cannot lie. Yes, for sure. Oh, we think alike. All right. And I'm going to do just a teeny bit of, just going to do a little seal there. I almost called it snail. I often do call it snail. You know, you just kind of can't change some of those old habits. All right, so this is going to go there. I think I actually, folks, I want it a little bit closer to the center. Terry to the rescue. Yeah, nothing like missing the best piece of the set. I used it for a couple things that I did, which I'm going to show you later on, some other projects that I've done with this kit. But I can't find what the heck I did with it. All right, so this is just going to sit center right in there. Okay, then I'm going to take my flowers here, and my flowers, we're going to do the same thing. So let me bring in card number 1, and you can see how they're really, you know, the same layout in a way, okay? So I will start with my green flowers here. And where's my minis? Get my mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put, well, where am I going to put my dimensional on this one? Same place. So I'm going to add my little green flower right in there. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. It'll be right about there. And this one, you know what? I want this one to be a little further in. Okay. And we're going to take some of our leaves here. And so these are the leaves from the Impressions Abloom. Such a good set. Okay. So we'll add a leaf there. And we'll do another one kind of off this direction. Maybe. Got a dimensional in the way. Well, we'll go there since I can't quite get where I want, but that's okay. And then I have these two flowers, and these are similar in size. This one's just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to do the bigger one towards the bottom, okay? And it's just going to kind of come set in here. You know what? You're going on with the dimensional. It's not cooperating, so you know when I always say tell it who's boss? I'm telling it who's boss right now. These leaf dies are from the Impressions Abloom, Kayleen. The one where the big modern oval dies are. And I was mentioning earlier that I like these because they really kind of fit the feel and the shape of the leaves that are drawn, that are part of the print of this paper pumpkin kit. And so this flower is just going to kind of reach. That dimensional is just causing me havoc. It is chapping my hide. Okay, you're done. You're out of here. If I can get it out of there. And then you know what is sitting on my stamp table that I didn't bring out with me? A hobby blade. And you guys know how much I use a hobby blade. All the time. Okay, so Wink of Stella, linen thread, hobby blade. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna just set this one inside here. And then I'm gonna put this one on with the dimensional. Okay, this is the way you tell it who's boss. I'm leading this show, not the stupid dimensional. Okay, yay, I fixed that spot. Okay, let's just get this area. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to lift that one up. Okay. And we'll add our leaves to this top layer right in here. Get this one out of the way. Okay. Mo better. All right. So have you guys, let me know, have you been making anything with this particular kit? Look at this. I'm going to try a twofer here. Going to layer these leaves together, put the dimensional on. So I'm holding two in one. And we'll just tuck this kind of right up in here. Get the angle that you like. And we'll add a little bit more of the floral. And so I'm going to put this one, well, guess I'm going to glue that one. Okay. And here we go. We'll just put a dimensional on. All right. Takes forever to put some of these things on. You know what I mean? Okay. I feel like I need another green flower. And so I don't think I have one right now, but I will put one. I feel I need another, and let me tell you why. Because these two kind of feel like, they're in your face. So I feel if I do another green one right in here, where I'm setting this white one, it'll have a better balance. So I will take pictures later today, and you will see that I'm going to have another green flower right in there. And I think it will fit the feel of this just a little bit better. Okay, if I had a green one, I'd do it, but I don't think I have a green one handy right now. Okay, so let's finish up with a few more, just like we did the first card, with a few more. Let me just get all these out of here. You're out of here. A few of the sequins from the kit. And, you know, maybe this time I'm going to do them directly on the flowers here. So I'm going to do one here. Okay. And I'll do one here. And then I will do a third one that's going to go on that flower right in there. So, all right, come back to my business page, Seeing Ink Spots. That's where we're at right now. And I'll, a little later today, and I'll have that ready. And so we must, because we can, and she's great, we will Stella and give it a little splatter there. So I can't wait to get that little green one in there. Give it just a little bit more, visual pop of green. All right, so these are what I call kind of sister cards. They're very, very similar, but just, you know, completely different. Does that even make sense? All right, let's move on with one more card using lots of pieces from the kit and the dies. So this time I have one of the vellum here, and then we've got this piece, but I'm going to use this one upside down, and I'm going to attach it to my vellum like so. So let's just put these together right now, get it done. And yeah, I'm covering that copper foil detail, but it didn't really fit the feel. And I can't see what I'm going to do, what I'm doing here. So I'm going to bring my card base in. It didn't fit the feel of what I'm going to do. And I'm going to create just kind of a little garden of flowers. Okay, let's see if we can get this on. Looking good. Even. Okay, even enough. This is also going to be a landscape card. So landscape, I'm going to turn it. And it doesn't matter which end is which. And I'm going to add this to my base with dimensionals. Okay, let me just grab these. Okay. Also for this card, you know, Stylish Shapes is just a set of dies that you just have to have nearby all the time. To me, I don't even put them away. They stay on my desk all the time. Do you guys have a set of dies or, you know, a tool that you just always have out, never put away? Certain tools, yeah, like my take your pick tool, hobby blade. What else is another big one that I never put away? My adhesive remover. Oh, I'm constantly using that. All right, this is another one that's going to be pretty close to center, the best you can. So I was talking about tools that are always out. So it might not be a tool that is like, you know, a handheld tool, but this set of dies I consider a tool. And stylish shapes, I use it for so many different things. And so this is, I believe this is the second, well, let's see, let's just measure it. I think it's 2 1/8. Yep, this is the diameter of this one is 2 inches and 1/8. So 2 1/8 inches across on this one. That's the one I'm using. I'm going to use the thank you image from the set. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this a little bit towards the top. Thank you. And then I'm going to add the so much. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. I know, it does. It just works for everything. Kayleen says stylish shapes works for everything. And I'm going to just nestle this so much right in here. And I don't want it to be center. I want it to be a little bit off center. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, if you haven't noticed, I like things off center, even though I put this center. I like them off center because I'm a little off, you know, I'm a little off, a little weird. Okay, now I have bunches of dies here, but they're all from the Abundant Joy. I have 1, 2, 3 of the more fern-like, and I have a whole bunch of flowers here. So these are balmy blue. These are all white. Okay. Now, will I use all of these? I don't know. We'll see. And then I have 3 garden green of these right here. And this is what I'm going to do right now. This is going to be oh so cute. Instead of using this as like a leaf in a bouquet, this is going to be like a flower stem. And so I'm just going to add that right like that. And look how cute. Okay, so we're just gonna make some flowers down here, a row of flowers down at the bottom. So now when I put these on, I'm kind of paying attention to how I'm putting the flower on. That one I kind of like followed the curve and went that way. This one I might kind of go a little bit off to the left. Okay, so that way when I add them to my card, they're not all identical and, you know, they don't look a little too rigid, okay? So just be aware, cautious of that. Okay, another one. Maybe this one I'll just do straight up. And we'll do the same thing with the blue. Okay. Do you have these dies? Anybody? Okay, this one got a little bit of it showing, you know, almost like the peplum of the flower or the collar, okay? And then maybe this one, I might even trim it down. So we'll just kind of trim it down like so. So I still have something to glue to. Just to change this one up entirely. Yeah, I have the new dies for the coming up paper pumpkin. I haven't busted them out yet, but I am looking forward to that. This has been a good set of dies. I have used these a lot. A lot. I've definitely got my money's worth. My $12 out of this has been a great little investment. Okay. And so this one, maybe we'll kind of tip it the other direction a little bit. Okay. Now I have a couple more just in case I need to fill an area here or there. Okay. And now for the fun, I'm going to just, well, first, oh, hey, you get back on your flower stem. I'm going to put a dimensional, a mini on the back of each of these flowers. So Rose says she has the dies and loves stylish shapes. Yes, stylish shapes. And what was the stitched shapes? That was before stylish shapes. That's another really good one from a while back. Yeah, it's just like having a really, a great black skirt in your closet, or a really nice, it's like, those are my favorite jeans. You just kind of have some things that are your favorites. Okay. Okay, so from the back, these flowers look pretty weird, but that's okay. The fun is going to be lining these up and arranging them across my card. Let's actually get some, I'm going to do a dimensional. Actually, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to glue this rather than dimensional it. Just because my flowers are going to come up on it and whatnot. It's just going to be a little easier. But I'm going to set this one kind of right about here. Okay. Yep, I could make them shorter too. That's right. That is right. Good idea, Karen. Okay, so just gonna, where's my long one? In fact, I'm gonna snip this one down right now. Okay, we're just gonna add some flowers. Just have some fun. Maybe a couple that, so they're not every other. And then I'm looking at, maybe just adding, who says it has to be attached to a stem. Maybe tucking another one, something like that. Yep, I know that, Rose. She keeps all of her non-specific that aren't, stamp set specific. She keeps them all because they are tools that you can use with anything. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the leaf here, but a dimensional on the top. Hello, Karen. Hello, hello. Okay, so there's my first flower. I really like the relationship of these two flowers. Okay, a little glue. And this is why I didn't want this up on dimensionals. This way I can kind of reach that. You're late, but you're here, so it's all good. All right, let's see. Let's do this one. Get a little glue on the leaf, this tip. This one kind of coming in and filling that space. Okay, the sky. The first few are easy to put on, but then it's like, oh, okay, how am I going to do this and really get this at a different height? I think we're going to do something like that. Gets us some variation in height of our flowers. And it looks like I'm going to be trimming this one just like so. Which, okay, I'm not going to throw this away because look at this, folks. Just like that. Woohoo! I love it when you kind of do things and they just kind of organically, see how this one just kind of came together like that? Snipping that off. I'm like, look, we have another little flower here. Okay. Well, I'm going to go a little higher and I'm going to go a little closer to this one. And we'll glue these down. Cute. Oh my goodness. Look at that. From a scrap I would have thrown away. Okay. I got a glue blob right there. Get it out of there. All right. I think so. Kayleen. Yeah. And then this flower. See, this is why I have to have an adhesive remover around, because I have glue all over my fingers and I transfer it to my pieces of my card. Can't have that. That's just gross. Okay. 2 more. Right in there. And then this last one, easy peasy. You guys, this is such a cute little card. I just love the little whimsy of it. Total cuteness. Okay, I don't think I need this flower, so I'll set that in my tray of goodies. All right, so to finish, I have some of this is the Old Olive. So there's a pack of linen thread. It's called Old Olive and Early Espresso Linen Thread. And so I'm going to stretch this around my card and give this a tie. And the reason I chose the green is because it just kind of felt like grass in a way, you know? It was just a way of just kind of making it, I don't know, it just made sense in my mind. Okay, tie me a bow here. Trim off my tail. Get that out of the way. So now I can style and position the bow where I want it. So I think it could even be cute. Oh, could even be cute up in the sky, but I'll leave it down low. Okay. Just giving this a quick style. Okay. It's like, come on. I hate it when there's a twist right where you don't want it, and so it doesn't behave for you. See how it keeps, all right, that's the way you're going to go. And then we'll trim this end, it's a little long. And I brought with me, I kind of didn't want to use the copper on these. That was a little much. So I have some of the iridescent pearls. And I pulled these not only because they were white, but because I just feel like they're a little bit more delicate. And these flowers are pretty small and delicate. So I'm just going to use some of my pearls here. And we'll do a variety of the large. So maybe we'll do a large right there. And we'll do some of the smalls as well. My fingers are so sticky, it just stuck to it. Who needs the putty end if it take your pick tool when your fingers are so sticky? We'll definitely do a small one on this little guy. Cuteness. Super cute. You guys, adding these adds such a nice little bit of sparkle. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, we'll do a small on you. And what the heck is on that flower? Okay, more glue. Okay, and we'll do a pearl there. And one last pearl right there. Okay, there are my pearls. I do have some blends out with me today. And so I'm feeling like I'm going to add a little. This is Light Night of Navy. What else did I bring? I also brought Granny Apple. And now I know that that's not Granny Apple necessarily, but I think that it will be fine. And I'm just going to add a little bit of life to the flatness of all of this white. Okay, get going. I needed to hit it harder. Now this is, look how old this blend is. This is like when they first started coming out. Oh! Crazy that my really old one is super juicy. Your ribbon knows it's the boss of you. Oh, that's funny, Rose. Okay, and then a little bit of glimmer with my wink of Stella, and there you have it. I think this is super cute. Super cute. Okay, my linen thread is not doing what I want it to do, but you get the idea. After this, I am going to tell it who's boss. It's not going to be the boss of me. Okay, that was card number 3. Now, I want to do something a little different. You saw that we used a little bit of the Impressions of Bloom and how perfectly this one is suited to this Watercolor in Bloom Paper Pumpkin kit. This one's not necessarily like you would think of it right out of the box going, yeah, I got to use this one. This will totally work with my Paper Pumpkin kit this month. But I love the rainbow, and so I just thought it would be fun. Oh, I love this kind of bohemian rainbow style. And so I thought it would be fun, and so I'm going to give you a quick glimpse. This was my card for Paper Pumpkin Creatives. So this was kind of the inspiration for these cards that we're going to do now. So we're going to jump to no card base from the kit. We're going to use some things from the kit, but look what we're going to use. We're going to die cut some rainbow pieces from the card base. I think it's this one right here. You can see all that dark right through there. So that's where I cut the individual dies. So if you look at these dies here, these are called Sunshine Vibes. So this is a separate die. And then all of these are separate dies. So I just set those in order so that they would die cut in kind of that variegated order that they had. And so that's what I did. So I have all of these dies here. So there's my rainbow. Part of the rainbow die is this primitive heart. There's 3 of them. They're different sizes. So I have the 3 primitive hearts. Look at all these pieces we have. This was on my desk, scraps from my desk. This is back when we had, I don't even remember what other color came with this. It was Night of Navy and I don't know what the other color was, but it's been sitting on my desk. It's getting used up. All right, I have cut, this is the Abundant Joy. That's that fern-like piece. I've cut 2 of those from vellum, right from one of the pieces of vellum in our kit. Okay, I have, so there's those 3 primitive hearts. These are pieces from the kit. Okay, we're going to use these. Okay, those pieces from the kit. And look, here's more of the Peaceful Gardens. This is the Secret Sea glimmer paper. Yeah, the cloud cover and the Secret Sea look great with this Paper Pumpkin kit. And this is that berry from Abundant Joy and a label from the kit. We'll be using that. This is for the inside of my card, and the cloud cover is for my card base. So this card is going to be, I think I'm going to make this be a portrait. Okay, so this is going to be a portrait. Yep. We're going to do it as a portrait card. There's my base. And then this piece is to set inside. And so it needs to be trimmed just a little bit to fit inside. Even though it's a quarter sheet, it needs to be trimmed down just a little bit so it kind of fits within the fold. And I noticed it's a little bit taller. So I'm just going to take some off of both directions. And I'm just taking a hairline off in both directions. And that's going to set inside like so. So let me just put that in now just to get the piece out of the way. Okay. This is a brand new bottle of glue and it's already gross on the tip here. It's because it's really dry here in Idaho and it kind of glues up pretty quick. Okay, perfect. That folds nicely, nothing's catching. And then this piece of cloud cover, I don't have, well, I don't have a Big Shot or a Stampin' Cut Emboss machine out here with me, but I wanted this to have a, wanted it to have texture, but oh well, it's not gonna have texture. I should have texturized it before I started doing things this morning. I guess the one thing I could do, I have my cloud cover ink spot here. I'm just gonna do a quick little edging here, just to get this to stand out just a little bit more, since I forgot to emboss it. Okay, going old school here, sponging the edges. But I like it when it's a little shabby and not exactly the same all the way around. So I don't know if you can see, if it's showing up, that it's a little bit wispy in places. But that's gonna, oh yes, that's nice. That makes it stand out just a little bit more. Okay, cloud cover. So I bought the blank ink spots and an ink refill to make my own little cloud cover ink spot. And let's glue this layer. Nice and easy. Winter Nest, is that what it was? All I know is it had navy, linen. Oh, I know. It had navy, it had Cajun craze, and it had a green. You're right. Because I don't know about you guys, but I prefer the linen thread to our baker's twine. I need a drink real fast. Hold on. Sorry. I was getting parched. Yeah, I like the way, there's just something about the way this drapes and hangs and curls. The other sometimes, because of the cotton, it just kind of, whoop, it sits a little lifeless. I don't like lifeless. Okay, so we are going to stamp a greeting here. And so I'm going to stamp the thank you. And I'll stamp this with Night of Navy. And I am going to stamp just kind of like some of the others. It's going to come off, I don't want it dead center, but I'm going to bring it off to the side just a little bit. Okay, that allows me to add some things to the one side. And for the greeting not to feel crowded when you add those. Okay, so that is going to come in here. We're going to put this on with dimensionals. And look at this. We're going to use up this stupid sheet. And I'll have this big, huge sheet of weird. The paper pumpkin dimensionals are a little too puffy for my taste. But there we go. We've used them all. It's gone. I just conquered a whole sheet. Love it. All right, so that, I'm not going to unpeel that, but we're going to, it's going to kind of sit at the bottom of my rainbow here. Okay, and so we're going to just build this rainbow, just like so. And if I knew exactly where it was going, I'd be gluing it right now, but I don't know how high it needs to be. You know what I mean? We need to put in the suggestion box, we want more linen thread colors. Yes, I would be up for that. Now you can take a Stampin' Blend and color your linen thread, anything you want, but that takes time. All right, so this big glorious piece, I am going to add over here on this side. Okay. And then we've got a big flower that's going to come in here. And we've got some leaves. These leaves are going to come down, play on the side over here. Okay. And I think I'm going to do that second flower there. And then I've got some berries and things. These are going to tuck in, but I'm not going to set those just yet because then I have to just take it all off. But I am going to use this last piece of linen thread in the navy. Love it. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this in a bow. Hopefully get it somewhat centered. Oh, white linen thread. That would be cool, because then it would take on colors and be more true to what you want. Okay, I didn't put this in the center very well. In fact, I did a really bad job. Super off center. Okay, let's see if I can do a better job. I tell you, like to color my linen thread, and I have a tip, and I'm not doing it in this class, but I actually like to tie the bow first because it's easier to color and then be able to flip it over and see what didn't get colored. So that's what I do. What do you guys do if you're coloring? And I use a blend. Okay, and so this is going to tuck in over here on this side to kind of finish this off. So I'm going to anchor my pieces here to start. And I think I'm pretty good where I had this label piece. It's going to kind of come over here to this side. Right about there. Looks good. Now I'm going to build my rainbow. And I'm just going to, I know some people love the adhesive sheets. I'm not a fan. I get that stuff all over the place, especially my fingers. So I'm a little dots of glue will suffice for me. Okay. Okay. Get out of my way. Now I'm going to center this basically on my card. Just like so. Got to bring it down just a skosh. There we go. Try it, Kayleen. Kayleen said, you know, for those not seeing the comments, but Kayleen just said, wow, she's never thought of coloring it after you've tied it. It's just a little bit easier to manage rather than having to do this long thread. It's just, you know, you can kind of put it down and get in there and give it some color. So, all right, a little bit of glue on these. Okay, I almost should put the other one down first. And I just got glue all over the place. I guess that's the positive of the adhesive sheets. You don't get, well, I do get it on other things, but like I got a mess of glue right there. Whatever. That's what the adhesive remover's for. Okay. All right. My dogs must be asleep. No one's out barking. So Rose Carey says she does not like the adhesive sheets. The parts get wobbly and there is little give when tacking it. Yeah, you got to commit. That's kind of like the, you know, tear and tape. It's like you got to get it down in the right spot. That's kind of why I like the, not kind of, it's a big reason I like the multi-purpose glue is you have those few moments to what I call move it around or kind of skate it around, slide it around and get it just where you need it. Especially when you're doing, you know, something like centering it or aligning it. Can I just say this is a cute blue rainbow. I think this particular Sunshine Vibes bundle, the boho suite, I think it's really kind of fun, but I don't think it really caught on very well. I enjoy it. Okay, here's the rickrack layer. One last, and I think this one kind of looks like a lucky horseshoe. Let me get that little piece popped out. There's another piece. They have two for the inside that you can do, but I prefer this one. I don't know why. They're both good, but I just kind of like this one. Okay. Right, there you go. Okay, you get out of there. You're not invited. Okay. All right. Yeah, so Kayleen, did you see where I cut it from? So it's this section. This is the part of the card that I used. It's one of the blue. So this is the card base that didn't have green in it, the watercolor background. So I was in that deep blue corner. All right, so now let's put this one on. I'm going to put this one on with the dimensional. About the glue that's all over my fingers. And this one, I'm just going to, of course, I'm colliding with a dimensional. This one's just going to come in right about there, okay? All right, flowers. Let's do these flowers. I'm going to do these on a dimensional. And we're just going to kind of break up this hard line right there, kind of fill in that space. And then this one, I am going to put it on with a dimensional. I was like, dimensional or glue? Dimensional or, dimensional. Yeah, the blues in this are really striking. Okay, there's that. Let's put this one on the other side. Okay, so this is just going to kind of counterbalance down here. And let's see, let's take, now I know I've said I don't like glue on vellum, but I am going to do very little here. And this is a small enough piece that it's not going to curl too much. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that like there. This little bit of vellum, I don't know if you can see that, but boy, does that add a fun, kind of an ethereal, it just has a fun finish to things. That was a lot of glue. That may curl. We'll do one kind of right in there. And then I have these two little berries. So I'm going to do some berries on this side. We'll just do one right about there. So it's just kind of a pop of sparkle, right? And then this one, I'm just going to add over here. Give this side a little bit of love. If you know what I mean. Oh, I forgot to put where'd my bow? I forgot to put this in here. It was supposed to slide under there. Oh, bummer. Oh, the dogs are awake. So much for the dogs being asleep. They are now all wide awake. Can't believe I forgot to put this in. We even talked about it. Oh, well. I guess we're going to put it on the other side. Okay, no problem. We'll just put it over here. And it's going to join the card right about there. In fact, I kind of like that. Sometimes when something like that happens, you're just kind of like, all right, that's where I guess it's meant to be. Instead, we call that plan B, right? All right. So if I had a glue dot, I would use a glue dot. I'm going to go ahead and just set that there. And I'm going to use the little primitive hearts here to kind of finish things off. And so I'm going to do one and, well, let's do the smallest one. So this is the large and the small. And I'm going to do the other one right about there. And so these are going to be in lieu of any gems. These are my gems for this card. Sometimes when there's these little teeny dies in our sets, that's what I like to use these for is, oh, that's going to be, I'm going to consider that an embellishment instead. And so that's what I'm doing here, okay? That may be a lot of glue for that little heart. Okay, and one more right there. And then we'll add some splatters. And I do believe I have my, my cloud cover out. And we'll do some navy as well. All right, Karen. Yeah, it is cuter. It's very cute. Just have some fun playing with some dies here. All right, so here is cloud cover. This is Cloud Cover Dark. Just really aiming for that white off the bat. And now let's just give some texture. It has a little bit more of a grunge look. I wasn't planning on that because I was going to texturize it, but I kind of like the grunginess of it. It's kind of funky and fun. But leftover glue is not funky and fun. Okay, so that was Cloud Cover. Here, let's come in with a little bit of the navy. And this is pretty juicy, so I'm going to be sparing on this, which is crazy because this is a super old blend. All right. And there you have it, folks. Okay. You've struggled with the rainbow dies because the second one, the vines don't touch. They don't have to touch. You could make them touch if you wanted. The other thing, Kayleen, that I have done a lot with this one is I'll use the primitive heart right there. So that's kind of a fun way to tackle that. But, and then, you know, we could have some fun doing some stamping on the inside. In fact, what would really be fun, there are all these leaf images, and to do maybe a leaf pattern down the side. And maybe I'll do that later today before I take a picture of this one and share it with y'all. So there's that. We're going to stick with the rainbow here for just a second longer. I have another rainbow card. This time, we're going to do the rainbow on the this crazy card base here. This is going to be a portrait as well. And I'm still using some stylish shapes. This time, I've cut a balmy blue circle. And this is smaller than the one that I used before. Let's see. The size on this one is about 1 5/8 across. Let me just see. Jacqueline Beretta's popping on to see the gorgeousness. It's a snow day. Okay, you know what? In Boise, we have not had one snowflake. Or at least in Star, we have not had one snowflake this year. Okay, so this rainbow, you can see, I've cut it out right here. This is the one. So this one's a little lighter. But I also cut the... let me show you the other rainbow die that I used. I used this die here. And so I did this on some scrap of the envelope. And so all of these rainbows are lined. They've got a little bit of white so that it just kind of pops it just a little bit more on the card there. Okay, Kayleen, look at this. So these don't necessarily touch, but I don't think they need to. But they come together, they relate, and I think it finishes it just fine. Okay, so this is going to be very similar to the last card we did, only this time we're going to use a circle, and we're just going to kind of fill things in a little bit different, but still using the same elements that we have out. So here you can kind of see where I've got the white to make this, this rainbow pop just a little bit more than just doing the on that color there. I think that is super cute right there. Okay, so this one, we're going to stamp Miss You on this in the Night of Navy. Okay. And then on the inside, we can stamp this So Much. So Miss You. Yeah, they don't need to touch. I'm glad it makes you, yeah, empowers you to use it because it's a good set. Okay, you can see here I have all kinds of pieces. So we have these pieces here were not from the kit. These pieces here, so I have 2 of these out, okay? And you can see I've already trimmed one. I'm going to trim the other one because it's just not to my liking. And so I'm customizing it. And I'm just pretending that the color doesn't matter. You know, see how it's kind of got the green on the bottom? That's okay. We're going to go with it as if it were just all white. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to come around this, give this some shape. Nice. I like it when fussy cutting happens that quickly. Okay. Now I've done some more die cutting. And let's see, I think I'm missing one. Because if I have that, where's my other one? Oh, and I need it. I wonder where it went. Shoot, Queen. Maybe it's around here somewhere. Maybe it will get added a little bit later. Yeah, I'm missing one of these because if you remember, so these are from the Impressions of Bloom. So we're totally combining, and I don't do this very often, but I really should because look how fun it is to combine sets that you wouldn't even think should go together. So this is from Impressions of Bloom, and I cut from vellum, and this is one of the pieces from the kit. Instead of using it as a label, I'm using it as vellum. And then this one, but where's the other one? Shoot. It might be in my tray somewhere. It's around here somewhere. Maybe it's with my dear friend Stamp. No, because that's been missing a lot longer. Oh, here it is. Found it. There it is. Yay. Okay, so this one, okay, kind of like we've been doing, you know, a high-low. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to have some flower action coming out over in here. Okay, and we'll have another one coming off of this. We're going to have to bridge this with our flowers here. We have lots of flowers that are going on this one. So this all comes together just a little bit more. Okay. So we've got flower, flower, and I'm going to actually mix in a few of these are just plain white ones. And so this is actually goes up there. That's the printed. Those two are printed. And this is just a white die cut. And I'm going to do another one over here to kind of cover up the end of that rainbow. We're going to tuck in our vellum pieces. Tuck in some vellum. So I feel now I need to bring all of this down just a wee little bit. Okay. So, all right, let's start by bringing this down. Okay. Because I need to fit that grouping in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this grouping on my card. Okay. Oops, I don't think I wanted this on dimensionals. Okay, this is going to be one of those that's going to be half dimensional, half glued. So I'm going to do dimensionals out on the ends of things, and then I will glue this side here because it's going to be under the rainbow, and I am not putting dimensionals on all these rainbow pieces. They're going to get glued on, okay? So let me just kind of wiggle these out of the way for right now. I'm going to glue this piece down, and this is going to be a much easier piece rainbow to glue because I've got some solid pieces behind it. Okay, I don't have all those little bits that are going to show. And I'm going to bring this piece in at the same time. Okay, because that one's going to sit right about there. And it's going to grab just like that. Okay, except I'm a little crooked. Okay, that's better. Okay, there you have it. And now I can peel these little backings. And so this still has some dimension to it, but it's flat under here. I do that trick all the time. And it allows me to kind of build some things up, but still have dimension and not be so, you know, entirely flat. There should be a term for that. A design term. Okay, there's my vine row. Kayleen calls it the vine row. Okay, now this one, I kind of, you know, took some artistic liberties here. The solid piece for this particular row in the rainbow is pretty solid and it doesn't show anything through like the other four do. So I just offset it. I don't know if you can see, but so it's just a little bit higher because if not, this one fits directly behind it. And so, but I wanted this row to have a little peak of white. So I just treated it more like a shadow. So that you could see white in each row of the rainbow. Okay. And then this one. Okay, so while I'm thinking about it, we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna talk about the next card I'm gonna do. And let me ask you, do you all know about the product of the month? Okay, what do you guys know about product of the month? Okay, don't be shy. Hopefully you've got a chance that you can make a comment or two. Product of the month is really cool. And it's something Stampin' Up! Started in December. In December, the product of the month started with a pack of designer series paper called True Blue. And you could get this pack of paper with for $5 so long as you had a $75 purchase. So that's $75 before tax and shipping and rewards or any of that. So if you spend $75, you can purchase the product of the month for $5, okay? And so I said December's was the True Blue Designer Series paper. And this month, this January's, look at this massive set of stamps. It's called Fabulous Sayings. This thing is beautiful. And it cost me $5. So when I say a big set of stamps, look at this. So it was $5. You can only buy the product of the month once. So if you maybe missed December's, it is still available. By chance, it is still available. So if you wanted that and spent $75, you can get it for $5, or you can get this one. Or if you did 2 different orders, you could get one of each. But the cool thing is, I know it's $5 more, but if you spend $75 and then $5 for this, you're gonna get my Global Ink Collective tutorial bundle for free, and you're gonna get a class kit shipped to your door for my technique time that month for free. So you really can be getting, 3 great things: a product of the month, a tutorial bundle, and a class kit, all for, some of them are for free. Plus you're earning rewards. And this month you're also earning bonus coupons. So it's just like, man, this is the month to do it. All right, I'm gonna take the Miss You and put that up. I'm gonna slide it up just a little bit here, but I want to be sure I'm catching all of those rainbow rows. I don't want it, I kind of feel like, it's fine on there if that's how you're gonna do it, but by adding elements, to me it needs to be grounded. So I'm gonna add my pieces in here. Maybe bring this one out just a little further to kind of echo how far that one is. And I'm gonna put my flower on and kind of bridge this section together. Okay, so you don't even notice that there's that color in there. And we'll put this one on right up in here, up in here, up in here. And we've got this white one, and it's kind of weird. Paper pumpkin white with basic white, but I'm going with it. It's working for me. And I'm gonna do one of these pieces of vellum. So I have these 3 vellum flowers, and so we're gonna tuck a little vellum in each of these, little couple areas here and there. Just kind of like so. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, we're gonna do another flower right in there. And where's my last one? Oh, now I missed, oh, it's on the floor. That would mean I'd have to bend over. Here's another one. I am not that lazy, but when I manage to bend over to pick something up while I'm doing one of these classes, I inevitably hit my head on the counter coming back up. I don't feel like hitting my head. Not today. Okay, so I'm just gonna tuck this. I'm not sure where am I gonna put this. I'm not gonna tuck it. I'm just gonna kind of do it like right about there. And this is, let me put this one on with a dimensional as well. Everything's going on with a dimensional pretty much, because that's how I roll. I use a lot of dimensionals. All right, there's that. And we've got these 2 pieces of vellum. And then we will do a little typical finishing touches. And that would be a little wink of Stella. And then a little bit of some splatter. And I think we should maybe put some gems on this. We'll see. It's kind of busy, but I think I'm gonna move this flower back just a little bit over to here, and then we'll tuck this on. Okay, cuteness. Okay, so that's a bulk of the card going here. Kind of fun. Okay, let's finishing touches. Let's bring out the Night of Navy. And basically I'm looking at some of these lighter areas. I'm not gonna go heavy, but it's really to just kind of knock down some of that white so it's not quite so in your face. And yes, I'm gonna use a little bit of Granny Apple, because when you do it in just little splatters like this, it's a little bit of a contrast to the blue, and it picks up the shaded spruce. I mean, I could do shaded spruce, but shaded spruce and the navy, they're going to be so similar, it's not going to show a lot of difference. Okay, so I brought these out, and you're going, what? These are the In Color flat pearls, but I'm looking at the cloud cover, if they're going to be okay. They might not be the right color for this, but I have some other things out as well. Ooh, I'm like, this is cloud cover and this is balmy blue, but look how good it looks. I think I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so let's do one right in here. That was a large, and here is a small, and I'm gonna do another large. We're gonna come down over here and let it kind of peek through. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna try some more. Sometimes I stop at 3, but let's see if we can't kind of keep going. So 1, 2, maybe a third tucked in here. This one isn't very shiny. It's not shiny like the other ones. Let me get another one. I'm like, I want it shiny. So weird. I know, I am so weird. Okay. We'll do one. What I'm trying not to do is have it in line with that. So if like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, then I need to bring a third over here. And so we'll do a medium. Okay. We'll do that medium kind of right in here. For fun. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. Where's my Stella? Okay, and we'll just give it a little bit of that Stella sparkle. And my notes tell me that I was supposed to add a linen thingy, but I don't know. I kind of like it without. Let's just do a quick test here. And maybe put one just kind of right in this area. Should we, shouldn't we? Kind of tuck it right in there. I'm gonna say no. Okay, maybe if I had the navy, but okay, just kind of fun, a little different, but sweet. And so these are kind of similar cards, similar in feel. And again, it kind of is a little bit like, this was my, you know, these are my nod to my original design over here. All right, so let's keep moving along, folks. Now, I talked a little bit about product of the month. I didn't notice if anybody mentioned anything about product of the month, but I'm loving this product of the month. I just showed you what January's is, and you can get this one for $5 with a $75 purchase. Plus, you get all those free things from me. Plus you earn rewards, plus you earn bonus coupons this month. Oh, so many pluses. This is the True Blue Designer Series paper from December. You could only get it as product of the month. It is still available, and it is gorgeous. If you love blues, holy moly. So I am using some of this. I have 2 more cards here for you. We're gonna do this first one because it's pretty fast, I think. I think I can get it together pretty fast. So I have half of a card base. I used the other in a bunch of other things. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have a piece of the True Blue Designer Series paper. So here it is on this side. I'm pretty sure this is probably Balmy Blue, but look at that side there. How fun. Pat Tate would love this paper. All right, so this piece of paper is 5 1/4 tall by 12 inches wide. Let me repeat that because it should be the width then height. So it is 12 inches by 5 1/4. I have scored it at 2 and at 4, at 8 and 10, okay? Or you could do 2 and 4 and then spin it around and do 2 and 4 again. And so this is just gonna be a gatefold card that sits on top of that quarter sheet. It's a fun way of using Designer Series paper. And while, you don't see this on the inside of the card, you do see it, as you open it, it peeks through. So it's a fun way of using Designer Series paper. If you like, not hiding the print, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this to my quarter sheet base. Easy, easy. And again, we talking about adhesive. I like that multi-purpose so that I can kind of wiggle things around, get it just in the right place. So there is my card base. Super easy, super cool. I have a piece of white here. And this white is this 4 by 5 1/4? I feel like it's smaller. It is smaller. It's 3 1/4 by 5. Is that right? Yep, 3 1/4 by 5. Oh, sorry, 3 3/4 by 5. And so this will set on the inside of my card here. All right. It's going to set on the inside. And I will probably do something fabulous on the inside and surprise you in the pictures. But I think definitely some interior decor is necessary. But I just wanted to get to card fronts today. So that's why we're moving along from the insides. Now, we haven't done, and I think I was supposed to do some leaf stamping on a couple projects and I forgot to do it. Oh well. I had planned to use all these leaf images and I haven't done it. Okay, this is one of the vellum from the kit, okay? And I have one of these pieces here from the kit, okay? And you could use it face up with the copper accent or face down. I think I'm gonna use it face down. So, don't ask me why. I don't know why. I'm just not in the mood for that. I'm going to use Seal Plus, or sorry, just Seal, and set this right down on this piece. Okay. And we're going to add this. Whoops. Kind of didn't set it down very well. And is it going to allow me to move this? I don't know. Oh, I may be ruining it, making it worse. Okay. Well, hopefully I shifted it over a little bit. Oh, that is actually better than it was. Okay. So then we're going to take this and we're going to add this just to the left side of the base here. So I'm going to flip this over like so. And we're going to put dimensionals. Let me cut a few pieces here. I'm going to put dimensionals just on this left side. Okay. And this will be kind of it's a gatefold, but it's kind of got this, what do we call it when it has this piece that's going to overlap? Okay, just like that. Okay, so there's kind of the mechanics of what we've got going with our card base here. Fun. And for my focal pieces, I've done some more die cutting using the Abundant Joy dies and one of those card bases. Okay, and more Abundant Joy. So look at all these pieces with the Abundant Joy and that card base. Again, look at all these things that I've done just with just this one card base. All right. And I've done the little berries. This is Cloud Cover Glimmer Paper from Peaceful Gardens. So that's Abundant Joy. And I needed some stronger focal florals. These were a little small. So I turned to the Impressions of Bloom. All right. And I die cut this flower here. I die cut 2 of these, and I have tape, repositionable tape holding those together just because it's easier, but that's what you get when you cut that one out. And I have 2 of those, and then I have this big guy right here. So that gives me a little bit more oomph on my card here. So I am going to do some stamping on this little flower here. So with the ink spot and with the tiny little image, it's the little berry image, I am going to ink that up. And you could do just that. Okay, a little center there like it's coming out, maybe more towards the center, but I positioned that such so that I could actually come around, and I'm going to stamp it 3 times to make a fun flower center. Cuteness. Okay, so I have 2 of those ready to go. Now that I've stamped that, let's do the same thing to this one. Now they have die cuts that you could put on this and everything, but I thought, I'm going to use the images from the set here. And since they're photopolymer, you can kind of see exactly what you're doing. Okay, I think that is just too cute. Fun stuff. Okay, now I want to stamp my label here, my piece. So I'm going to hopefully hold that down. I'm going to use the Night of Navy, and I'm going to use the Miss You. If I had the Dear Friend, I would be using the Dear Friend. But if you're joining on a little later at the beginning, you would have heard my woe story of I've lost it. I can't find it anywhere on my stamp desk. I went down on the floor with a flashlight looking for it. I looked everywhere. Okay, so I'm stamping this towards the bottom. And then I'm going to take my images here, and or my die cuts rather. But before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of Balmy Blue here. Yeah, and the leaf image. This is that larger leaf, and I better make sure it's clean. Just don't know what I stamped with it last time. Okay, so just a little Balmy Blue, and I'm going to test to see how dark this is stamping. And let me see how it is when I stamp off. I want more of that color. I don't want it to be too bold and in my face. So I'm going to stamp off, and I'm just going to stamp a leaf right in there. Okay. And I think, can I get another one in here? I don't think I can. It's going to feel too crowded. So I'm just going to add another one. We'll just do another one kind of right there. Okay. So I've got 2. I'm going to have other things coming over this, so it'll be just fine. Okay, so we're going to use this one. This is the little leaf that's a lot like the die, what I call the little fern piece. This one is just a little bit smaller, so it's kind of fun. I'm going to stamp that one off, and this one's just going to kind of come down right in there. Ah! Hold on, I can fix it. I didn't fix it. Oh, I'm going over a dimensional. That's why. I'm not going to stress about it. I have all these pieces that are going to come in and cover things up. It will be just fine. So you'll never know in the end, although watch it be the one spot where we don't have anything. Okay, so I'm going to start with my anchor element, which is going to be this large flower. Okay, and I'm using that kind of notch out and kind of focusing that right down on the M for Miss You. Okay, and let me put my other two. So once I get that one on, then I have my other two flowers that are going to kind of come into play here. And I feel like I needed to place this one just a little bit higher. Hold on while I just bring it up just a little bit. There we go. All right. I just wiggled it up about 1/8 of an inch, and I have dimensionals all over my fingers. Hold on. I got a mess going on here, folks. And so I'm going to add this one kind of up in here. And then this one on the other side here. Okay. This one, though, is going to be on top. See, look how close we're getting. We're already covering it up. And now I'm moving to the blue. And I'm going to put that kind of in between these two. So see, my stamping is getting swallowed up. It's not even going to show. Why did I do it? Okay, and I think I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. And we'll tuck this one in. I'm going to tuck this in way up in here. So I've got a little bit of that blue coming there. And then this one is going to come up and around over into here. And we'll have some more blue filling this in. Just pretty. Just kind of a nice, pretty little arrangement of flowers. And put this one on with a dimensional. Gonna bring this around this way. Okay. And then we have these leaves to add as well. If we feel like we need them. I might not. You know, sometimes it's like, do I need it? Do I not need it? Maybe if that were shorter. I'm going to snip one row off. Okay. Maybe bring it up in here. Yeah. And then we have these. So let me just tuck these in and we'll make them permanent. And just get that way in there. And we'll add this guy. And so these, I just love the way these add just a little hint of sparkle here and there. Put in there. And we'll do another one kind of up in here. I just kind of want to make sure that they're not on the same angle or in the same plane. Just a little burst of that. Let's glue this one, and we have another, just a pretty, I mean, gosh, they give us all these dies. Got to make bouquets, right? And then this last little bit of glimmer, we'll just tuck right in here. Oh, so pretty. I'm going to do just a slight little bit of splatter just to soften this area right in there. And so I think what I'm going to use cloud cover. If I had balmy blue out here, I would use that. My balmy blue blends are pretty not juicy. They're pretty weak. Okay. I'm bringing them out just to see if we need them. Do we need to soften the centers of these? I think we do. I think we do. Okay. This last on this row. Oh, oh. Oh, thank you, Valerie. Valerie just said, all your cards are beautiful. Okay, we'll turn that just a little bit. All right. Thank you. All right. I think that's pretty. And then we need to add a so much, but I don't want to stamp directly on here. What I think I'd like to do is I'd like to stamp more of the leaves and then do the so much on a small, let's see. So this is one of the pieces from the kit, but this is my thought, is if we do the so much, where is it? Here it is. If we do that and then maybe cut a little label and then have it kind of layered up a little bit with some leaves and things stamped behind it. So I will do that. I have one more card that I want to share with you, so I want to get to that one to show you a little bit more of that true blue designer series paper. But yeah, I'm going to kind of chop this, add it to the inside with some leaves and things, and it'll be just pretty and fun on the inside of this card. Okay, so I will finish this. So I'm hoping you're all invited to come to Seeing Ink Spots, my business page, which is where we are right now. And I will have pictures of everything later today so that you can get some close-up shots and see what I've actually done. So I think this one's pretty. And the last one, we're going to do a kickstand card because I like kickstand cards because it shows off DSP. And this card is about designer series paper. So we're going to start with a card base here. Let me get my bigger paper trimmer. And what I'm going to do is this is going to be a landscape card. And I am going to make 2 cuts in my card here. I'm going to put my left edge at 2 3/8. So 2 3/8. And I'm going to cut from the bottom and I'm going to stop at the score line. So there it is, 2 3/8. Now I'm going to pick my my arm up and we're going to move this over to 4 3/8. So easy to remember, 2 3/8, 4 3/8. So this will set our kickstand off to the right side just a little bit. Oh, Jacqueline, you know what's great about the kickstand card is it gives you not just a card front and the inside, but it gives you front, second front, and inside. So, okay, so now I have, these are loose, right? So I'm just going to fold these down. And whenever I do these, I'm sorry, you guys, I have a very warped, twisted mind. And maybe it's, 35 years of living with a carpenter. Newell being, that's his trades. He's in construction. But I just think this looks like you're getting flipped off. I don't know. So it's the bird. Oh, I have a totally warped mind. I know. Okay, I've got some pieces over here that I've kind of started. Here is my piece of designer series paper. And this piece of designer series paper, look how fun. The back is cool, but you know what? The front, I love this, is so cool. I love this. So what I'm going to do is this piece is going to bridge this area together, okay? But before I bridge it, we did a kickstand card the other day in my upgrade class. We had an upgrade class with the Brushed with Beauty, such a pretty class. And we did this very layout. Anyhow, I think, I just did it, but I just did a whole bunch of just regular plain old folds. Why can't I do another one of a kickstand? So repeat, right? It doesn't have to just be, the same old. All right, so I am going to just do a little bit on the edge here. You'll see why I'm creating a pocket. So, and I think we all know how to create a pocket. So there's that side. And then this side can get completely glued down. So that's where I'm putting my glue. I know it's a little tricky to see, but when you see this and then what we're doing, it'll make sense where I've put the glue, okay? So now I'm just bringing this in. And so I have glue here, 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 and here. And then behind this area right in here. That way when this lifts up, I'm free of any glue right there. But look how fun that is. We get that punch of color showing through. And there's that getting that, you know, to see our designer series paper more than just the one time. Okay, since we were almost to the inside there, let's go ahead. I have another piece. And so I think these are 3 3/4 by 5. Nope, I'm off. These are 3 7/8. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Let's do this right. The width. 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Yep. So 5 1/8, 3 7/8. Yes, sometimes I like to not have that 4 by 5 1/4. I just get tired of that measurement. All right. So both of these are the same. So I would encourage them to be the same so that you have a nice, it just kind of adds some continuity to the layout of your card. All right. So I'm going to glue this one on just so you can see how these papers are coming together. And sometimes I'm weird and I work from the inside out. Okay, so this layer is setting on just like so. And then I have a layer of white to set on top. Okay. Now you're going, what is she doing? She colored that glue on, the DSP, and then scribbled out. So I scribbled it out so it wasn't all like, because sometimes if I put it on this side, it shows through. So I'm just trying to smooth it out so it doesn't show through on my white paper. Okay, so there's my white layer. And I have taken some of this paper that you've seen, okay, and I have fussy cut a set of the leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have some soft sea foam here, and just quickly, I am going to color the leaves soft sea foam. So just because it's DSP, it doesn't mean we can't color our DSP, right? Color it, customize it, make it all yours. I'm doing a couple layers of color there. So there is my fussy cut leaves, and you can see I was worried more about the outside. I didn't care about the inside because it was just too close to sit and try and figure out how I was going to cut all that. But let me glue this down. I cannot believe how dry it is right now, that this is drying up so quickly. Okay, and I'm going to add that right about there. Okay, I know it's strange, a little weird. And then I'm going to add a flower there, and I'm going to add another flower right about there. That way we just have a little bit of decor to the inside of our card that completely coordinates with what is on the outside. And you know what? For fun, I'm going to do what we just did on that last card, only I'm just going to stamp this one time. This is that little berry image. I'm going to call it more of, well, so instead of a berry, it's going to be, we're just going to pretend it's like more of the stamen. Okay. Or is that the pistil? I can't remember. So we'll just do that right in the middle. Cute. Okay. Just adding a little color there. Jacqueline, it is. It's the flip off. It does. Especially, it just sometimes I'm like, that's just so rude looking to me. I know. I got a weird mind. Okay. So one's going to tuck behind. Give us a little dimension there. And then this one I'll kind of go that way. So we'll turn the little stamen on it. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit of Let's just do some splattering. Soften all of that. So that was cloud cover. Could have used balmy blue. Could have used, well, the soft sea foam, it shows up on that, but if I try and splatter, it's just not going to show much. Okay, that was a lot of splatter. But, so now I have just kind of some inside decor ready to add whatever greeting I'm going to do. Okay, now let's fold this one down. And so this is where you see our card front, second card front, and then we have the inside. So it's all about gaining some realty, some space, some land, whatever you want to call it, to do more decor. Okay, so I have, let's see, I have a whole bunch of pieces here. Look at all this stuff. All right, so first things first. This piece right here, I'm actually going to set this, and it's going to go just underneath so it lines this piece. So we need to trim this, not 4 1/4 because it's going inside there. It needs to be just shy of 4 1/4. So I'm going to do more like, oh boy, that's kind of crazy because that's not a total straight edge. I'm going to do 4 7/16. How's that for an obnoxious measurement? Okay, I'm going to trim that off. And we'll see how this fits. But I want that to go right in here. Ooh, it fits great. And so that's where that's going to be. So I chose the measurement based on this. I just didn't random cut and say, this is where it always is. I move the kickstand around. Sometimes it's narrow. Sometimes it's thin. Sometimes it's on a portrait design. I've done it on a gatefold design. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a super versatile, clever cut, if you want to call it that. Okay, so look how pretty that is. And then it's pretty on this side as well. Love it. Okay, so look at all these pieces that I have. Okay, you can see the pieces from the kit. That's going to be these 3 right in here. I have more of the flowers. And then another balmy blue. This is the 1 and what did we say? This is 7/8 size. Yeah, no, 1 5/8 is the measurement on this. And then from the true blue paper, I just cut some of these flowers out. So this was the other piece we used on the card previous. But let me just pull out some of these pieces here, folks, so you can see how pretty this paper is. Okay, so this is actually white and blue. There's the back side. All right, so Night of Navy with like some balmy in there. Ooh, I love that right there. Fun paper, especially if you're loving like blue prints. And if you're, you know, you love the bluesy tones. Look at this one. You guys, this one is so pretty. It's not a white background. It's a really, really soft blue. And then we have that one. Oh, so cool. I haven't explored this paper very much, so I can tell I need to have some more fun with it. Okay, so let's get on with this. Say, stamp it, lady. Get it done. Let's see here. We're going to just have some fun with the paper. I'm trying to figure out what I was doing with both of these. We'll have to see. I might only be using one. But this layer here and this layer, these are for our greetings. We're going to do Miss You So Much. And let's see. So Much Navy. And it's going to go on this piece here. Okay. And I'm trying to find, I had a note. Now I don't know where my note went. It told me what I was doing on this card. I'm trying to remember what I had planned. Shoot. Shoot, Queen. Okay. So we're going to put the So Much here. Oh, now I know what I was going to do. Okay. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me. Okay. So this and this piece and these are going to be for the inside. So for card 2, second card, like second breakfast, second card. And then these are going to be for the front. Okay. Now I remember. Okay. And I would love to have used the dear friend image, but woe is me, can't find it. So this is going to get stamped, Miss You. Okay. Right on the front of that. And for my flowers here, I am going to give these a little color. This time I'm going to use, I thought I brought, okay, I'm going to use cloud cover because my balmies weren't working very well. But what I'm going to do is just change these up a little bit. And I think you can see, if you look at this flower, left hand has been colored, right hand has nothing. So I'm just adding some fast little strokes in the same direction of the petals that the artist did on the paper. I'm not going all the way to the end, okay? But I'm going probably 3/4. And in the direction that they've shown. I'm just kind of following that. So you could see how fast that was. This was the light cloud cover. Now with the dark, I'm going to switch to the bullet tip. And instead of going 3/4, I'm going to keep these strokes a lot shorter and in towards the base of each petal. Okay? And just add that color pretty quick. And same thing. And kind of down in these tighter spaces, add maybe even more, just to really kind of help with that shadow. If you have to add a little bit more on some of the layers, go for it. But it just, I think, lends just a little bit of, and now I'm adding even more. I'm going back to the light and going over that dark just to make sure it's really blended. And it also adds one more layer of color. But I'm always saying personalize or customize your designer series paper, your dies, make them fit just what you want. So those two are colored. This one is not. Hopefully you can see the difference. But if you try it for yourself, I think you'll see that it is kind of just a fun, is this light or dark? This is light, okay. It's just a fun addition. And it looks darker when you first lay it down, but then it obviously it lightens up. But I think it's kind of fun to color your designer series paper. And in that virtual card retreat, I think we're going to be doing that because I've kind of studied some of the cards we're making. I love that they've shown us what we're doing in that. And if you haven't heard, I'm pairing with Kelly McGillis, yeah, with Top Gun. And we are doing an encore the weekend after the card retreat to extend the value of what our investment is on that virtual card retreat. So for $15, you get full access to some great, so we have got a day planned of classes, of projects, using up the scraps from the virtual card retreat. So it's going to be cool. So hopefully you will join us on that. If you need any information, I can help you out with all of that. Okay, so I've added just a little bit more color. It's given it just a little bit more dimension right here. Okay, so this is where, all right, we're going to add our pieces here. So I'm going to add my Miss You, and I'm going to take my fleurs and just kind of, again, something like that. And then I'm going to take, and we're going to get some greenery popping in there. I wish I had a little bit more of that, but you know where I do have a little bit of greenery. No, I'm not going to use that. I have a couple white here. Let's see. Just to kind of break these up just a little bit. Okay. We'll tuck a little white right up in there. Okay, so I'm going to do something like that. And I have some blue that go in here as well. And then we'll tuck another one up in here. Okay, so let me get this glued down. It's like you get it all kind of roughed in and then you're like, got to take it all apart. This is where that press and seal technique is really cool. But that's if you're going to do it all at one level. And I want some dimension going here. You know what? I got some press and seal right here. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. Give me 2 seconds to grab it. I've not done this in a long time, but that's where I'm kind of dry fitting things. So now if I take a piece of press and seal, so that was just plain old press and seal, right? And I'm just going to pick these pieces up with the press and seal, turn it over, and now let's add dimensionals. This might end up being a little flat, but I can always fix that, right? Have you guys ever done this method? I think I did it a long, long time ago, one time. This is the first time I'm doing it since then. We'll see if it's successful. I mean, so far I'm like, well, yeah, that was fast to pick it all up like that. Okay. Just having a few dimensionals here. Okay. Let's take it off of the press and seal. Oh, we lost a few pieces, but that's okay. I can tuck them back in. Okay, let me put a dimensional. I think that the name of the game is you have to put some dimensionals that hold the pieces together. Because once you pull the press and seal away, nothing's holding them together. So you gotta glue them together with dimensionals. Okay, so we'll take this, add this to our, and I can see I've got a little adjustments to make here and there, but that's okay. Okay. This is the one that needs to come down. Just like that. Hey, pretty cool, you guys. All right, let's get this one. Or at least this one. You get the idea. I think I'll do this one. This one's kind of in the wrong spot. Does it go up higher? I can't remember how it was, but it's a little goofy right now. It needs to be like that. Okay. Okay, you get the idea. I may have to do a work on that. That's kind of a bent leaf. I'll fix it. All right, let me just do that next layer. But that was kind of a cool little trick. That's not where that goes. I want them like 1, 2, and 3. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to readjust that, but hey, that's kind of a fun little trick there with the press and seal. And then for the inside, as you lift this piece, so this inside layer here, we have the so much, and we have our flowers and our greenery here. And so the name of the game is just to do something, and let me do just a little punch of white under here. to kind of get these to stand out. That, or we'll reverse this. There we go. That's nice right there. So this is all going to go on with dimensionals. And then you can kind of see how the card progresses. I'm going to do one more stamped image on the inside to show you how I kind of like to have my, I like a greeting on each level of my, when I do a kickstand card. So with, you know, each layer, I should say. Now I'm kind of really looking at this because that is going to show, so I'm kind of making sure that it's even from side to side. And then we will add this one. I'm going to glue this one on top. And then I'll have the rest of this kind of hold it up. Okay. We'll tack that one like that. Okay. I'm liking it. I always like a good kickstand. Okay. So this one, we'll tack this one here like that. Fun. And so I didn't need, since I switched it, I didn't need the white one there. So I think I'm going to finish with, let's go back because we have the copper showing. Let's have some copper gems on this, or sequins rather. These are sequins. And so let's just do a couple here. Here's a large and a small. And we'll do another large right up in here. Okay, so there's that layer. Fun. And then let's add some more gems here. Okay, let's do one of that. I like to hide some of them, tuck them here and there. So there's a tucked one. And then we'll do, I got a mess over here. I'm gonna wait on these because I gotta kind of figure. My saran wrap was, or press and seal idea works, but I didn't secure it well enough to transfer it just right. So I've got a little work I want to do right there. So check the pictures. I keep saying that. It's not complicated, Jolinda. It's easy. It's easy. All you do is you've got the 2 slits and you've got 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let's add some more gems, more of the sequins, just a few. And I say, you know, maybe just one right there. And then another one. I'm actually going to do one kind of right like that. And you're going to go, why? Because I'm going to do another one over here with the greeting. And this, I remember I said I wanted to do one more greeting. Miss you so much. The little things you do mean so much. So, yeah, I remember that one, Jolinda. I do. Okay, so I'm going to just do this in the ink spot color, the Night of Navy. This greeting right here is so perfect with the dear friend. But yes, I lost it. She has a birthday today. She's an Alice in Wonderland. I may have to make, yes. Yeah, because there's all kinds of cool things. It kind of has a, you know, I can't think of I think I could see an Alice in Wonderland theme going with this really well. Okay, and so now I just want to add one more little gem. And so now these 3 kind of relate to one another. And please check back for photos later today. I will have insides on some of these stamped up with the leaves that I mentioned that I forgot to do. And I'm going to rearrange that just a little bit, get that moved around just to the right spot, and add some more details there. So we did a lot today. We looked at the True Blue DSP product of the month for December. Here's more of that True Blue paper. And this is going to get some more stamping, so that goes in there. Right? And here's the back side of that paper. So it's just kind of fun to see those. Don't be afraid to mix patterns. You know, it's kind of fun. All right, we've done a couple rainbow cards today. All right, and then we've done some fun stamping at the beginning where we just did just kind of some sister type cards, similar layouts, different looks. I love this little garden here. So cute. And I have one last card, 2 last cards I will show you. This one here, I had, this has been sitting on my desk as a scrap from another project forever. And I'm like, oh, it looks so good on this card. I'm going to use it. So I did, with the Impressions Abloom. Let me bring those dies in. This one right here. Oh, you're welcome, Jolinda. Anytime, you know that. This die here, I just did 4 of those leaves. 2 are from the card base and 2 are in Glimmer. I love this card. It is so striking and unusual and pretty. And then here is this card. This was from my PPX video this month. So see this look right here? That's kind of the thing I was thinking of doing on some of the insides of my cards. So anyhow, and there's that image, and then I lost it. All right, so I hope you're going to join me for Technique Time. We'll be working with the Made with Love Sweet Collection, doing some Valentines. These aren't the ones we're doing, but they give you a sense of what we'll be doing. So that's the 29th of January, and then the 31st, we're doing that Encore class. Now, if you have not purchased the Encore Retreat, but want to come to our Encore class, you don't have to have this stuff. Just pull out a good bundle and some DSP and join along. So it doesn't have to be exactly with what we're working with. Anybody can join in. $15 US, $20 Canadian. All right. You guys have been fun. We're about 22 minutes overtime here. But hey, that's half the fun of stamping. You know me, I go long. Go big and go long. So I will catch you next month for another Paper Pumpkin class in actually 2 weeks. That's what we're doing on the 5th of February. It's a little over 2 weeks, but yes, we will upstyle again another day. Thanks for being here, everybody. Bye-bye.